technologies. Next, I am much privileged to welcome the backbone of our institution, our principal, Reverend Dr. Roy Abraham P. I also welcome our head of the department, Dr. Shintu Dennis, who is the reason behind the energy and enthusiasm of our department. I gladly welcome all the faculty members of Marian College Kuttikkanam Autonomous. Last but not the least, I welcome all my dear friends who are here to attend this informative webinar. So let's plug in our earphones and listen to this wonderful webinar. I wish a fruitful session to all of you. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Blessing Abraham to give a brief introduction about our speaker, Mr. Philip Varghese.
Thank you, Anne Maria. So just to give you a brief about Mr. Philip Varghese, he's in fact a college mate of myself, and we were together, in fact, for some time. He's an industry-recognized analytics and artificial intelligence veteran, entrepreneur, thought leader, and a visionary digital transformation and innovation executive. Currently, he serves as the vice president and global lead in cyber defense and applied intelligence at Accenture Technology. He was the co-founder and CEO of Datum Informatics Private Limited. It was a big data analytics and artificial intelligence firm with deep focus into cognitive decision systems using artificial intelligence and machine learning on unstructured and distributed data. So Philip brings around 17 plus years of rich and extensive cross-functional experience and expertise in the fields of analytics, artificial intelligence, cyber intelligence, future living systems, next-gen cyber defense, digital transformation, disruptive innovation, and cognitive decision systems. He is in fact an invited keynote speaker in more than 400 national as well as international conferences and leading academia. He has handled key business management roles with IBM, CSS Corporation, and Socratic Learning Incorporation at domestic and international level. So he's a postgraduate in mathematics, and he also holds a Master of Philosophy in Mathematics along with his computer applications course as well, degree as well. So some of you might have wondered why the Communicative English Department have organized such a talk on artificial intelligence. In fact, the thing is that there is a separate branch within artificial intelligence or within language study, which you can call computational linguistics. So with my interest in linguistics, I was thinking of getting some kind of insight into computational linguistics, artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning and big data analytics as well. So the first phase that came to my mind is of Mr. Philip Varghese, and his knowledge about big data, the digital footprint, and stuff like this is unfathomable. In fact, when I had a recent chat with Professor Walker of the University of California at Santa Cruz, what she was saying is that it is still a pretty foreign stuff to most of the people in the field of literature and language, the analytics, the big data analytics, machine learning kind of stuff, and computational linguistics and similar kind of fields are in fact a pretty foreign stuff for literary as well as language students. So that's why we are thinking of giving such a kind of overview into what you can call an interdisciplinary talk on artificial intelligence, which will be given a chance to all kind of students or students across streams, because what we are living right now, the situation with the circumstances in which we are living right now are completely related to artificial intelligence and definitely machine learning and similar fields. As you know about the Amazon Alexa or the Google Assistant or Siri or any kind of speech recognition kind of things. Everywhere you can feel and find artificial intelligence. The importance of artificial intelligence is such vast. And in fact, it is really great to the entire technocrats as well as people of all kind of jobs as well, and in fact for students as well. So it would be better, and I thought it would be better giving a chance to Mr. Philip Varghese, because he is the one who has given a lot of talk and seminars and webinars on artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, and similar kind of topics. So giving a chance to him would be really useful to an academic institution like Marian College Kuttikkanam, because we have given a lot of over this period of especially during the period of COVID-19, we had some wonderful, great speech and webinars which have been organized by different departments. So we are in fact deeply honored and proud to welcome Mr. Philip Varghese to the platform. Over to you, Mr. Philip.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, one and all in the conference here. Thank you so much for inviting me and giving the opportunity to share my knowledge and experience with all of you. So thank you so much once again. Sir, before I start, it would be great if you can just share the access for me to share my screen, and then we can start off. You can make me as a host and we can start off.
Yes, sure.
I think you can right click on my name.
Yeah, it's done.
I think it's done. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Great. Could you please confirm that you can see my screen well, and then we can start off?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So once again, good afternoon, one and all, and thank you so much for taking time out and joining this session today. I think a wonderful introduction and the context is already set. Thank you very much for that. In the coming minutes, I'm going to share a lot of interesting examples about how AI has become a very, very dependent factor in our personal as well as corporate lives. Okay. In this session, I would like to present it in a non-technical way so that each one of you can understand and relate with your own life and world we are living in. So it would be a non-technical session. At the end of the session, we would spend some time to take some of your thoughts, interesting feedback and questions as well. So please feel free to share your thoughts as well as suggestions and questions at the end of the session. We'll spend some time there. So as you know, today we are living in a world which is mostly driven by exponential technologies, and one of them is artificial intelligence, and the leading technology is artificial intelligence. So how do we develop a future workforce which can work, live and co-live with this kind of artificial intelligence driven work, right? So that's what the topic. Before I proceed further, you heard about me. I currently work with Accenture. Prior to that, I work with a lot of organizations. In this conference, I am here at my personal capacity. I'm not officially representing Accenture. So what are the examples I'm going to share with you is all publicly available material. There is nothing related to any of my current and past organization. That's just a disclaimer. Just to say some bandwidth, I'm not coming into this video today. This is me. You heard about me. I love sharing my knowledge across different stages, both academia as well as in the corporate world. So let's get into the topic. So I'm sure that all of you heard about artificial intelligence, and this is the buzzword today in the market out there. Interestingly, whether we know or not, or knowingly or unknowingly, we started living with this AI systems. So going forward, we call this artificial intelligence the short form AI. So AI is already in our lives, whether we know it or not, whether we understand it or not. We already started engaging with AI systems. We already started living with AI systems. And going forward, AI will be a default interface in everything what we do at every touch point in our personal life, in our corporate lives, in our society, in our country, in our nations. AI will be there in every interface. Now, we may not see such a technology solution all the time, but I'm going to show you some certain examples how every aspect of our life, there is a bit of AI already started playing and they're all right. That's what we are going to see in the next few minutes. Now, if you look at the world has moved to a digital platform or a set of digital platforms. Now we learn through digital platforms. We consult with our doctors through digital platforms. We connect with our friends and family through digital platforms. We do our banking requirements, whether it is opening an account or, transferring money or making a payment, doesn't matter, through digital platforms. We we part with entertainment systems through digital platforms. We watch movies, songs, listen to stories, read book through digital platforms. Today, if you look at, the digital platforms are in every aspect of our life. Now, one of the interesting things, if you look at this digital platforms, the digital platforms, whatever we do in any of the digital platforms, a lot of data is getting produced. Anything, whatever we do in the digital platform, there is a data getting produced. When we transfer some money, when we order something through the e-commerce platforms, when we upload some photographs or images or videos in social media, some data is getting produced. When we recharge through some apps, data is getting produced. When we send a message in WhatsApp, again, digital data is getting produced. Now, irrespective of whatever we do in the digital platform, there is a bit of data getting produced in the backend. Now, this data has a huge volume of knowledge inside this. If you look at the most of the companies today needs to grow by taking interesting decisions. Now, how do you take decisions? There are a lot of data, but how do you take the decisions? Now, to take the decision, you need to extract the knowledge and the intelligence and insights from this data. Then only you will be able to understand what's happening, and then only you'll be able to take a decision. So extracting knowledge from this large volume of data is called knowledge engineering. And that is what a huge opportunity out there. And there are so many capabilities, solutions are already available out there. Analytics and AI is a common terminology that we use to really describe this knowledge engineering process. Okay. Now, most of the companies today across the globe, irrespective of the industry, started leveraging this knowledge engineering aspects. People who are leveraging this knowledge engineering aspects are really growing their organizations, and other industrial organizations, they are coming down. Their growth is declining. Now, this knowledge engineering opportunities are only going to be increasing because more digital platforms are coming, more industries are adopting digital solutions. World is getting more connected, so anything and everything we do produce a lot of data. So a lot of knowledge is getting produced, but in the form of data, raw data, and the data has to be processed to extract the knowledge, and it will create a lot of opportunities from a career perspective. Anyone and for everyone, right? So that will boost a lot of positive growth towards the economy, and that will drive a knowledge economy by itself. And that's the world we are living in. Now, these exponential technologies are really transforming the world. Okay. Now, if you look at some of the companies who are driving these opportunities for their growth, are some of the companies in the screen right now you're looking at. So you are familiar with most of these companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Airbnb, Netflix, Uber, Quikr. All these companies, if you look at, these are all digital companies. They're all companies just launched a few years back. Today, if you look at, these are the companies, #1 companies in the world in their respective areas. They're all digital companies, and they were able to grow to the #1 positions in the market in the shortest span of time because they were born digital. They are digital native companies. They started leveraging the knowledge, extracting the knowledge, extracting the intelligence and insights, and using those insights to take smarter decisions to grow their organizations. And that is what the opportunity out there, right? Now, this is a very, very interesting revolution. I call it as digital revolution. And the back end is nothing but analytics and artificial intelligence, or AI. Okay, so we will see that in detail in the coming slides. But one sad thing happened in the background is that when these companies really leveraged AI and knowledge engineering aspects, many things started getting disrupted. The traditional aspects, traditional processes, traditional systems are getting disrupted. Now, we don't carry any more music CDs. We don't carry any more video cassettes. We don't store any more magazines in our shelves because everything is available digitally. You don't even need to buy anything. It is just subscription model. So the videos you want to see, just straight away get into the YouTube or Amazon Prime or Hotstar. You get what you need. Same way music, same way books, same way newspapers. And whatever we are reading today, newspaper in the morning is already they're available 2 days ago in some digital newspapers or in Facebook or in some blogs. It's already available, right? So the traditional systems are getting disrupted. Not only traditional systems, even industries are getting completely disrupted today. When I was studying in the college, many of my friends were going for extra classes for taking bank exams. They wanted to get into a probationary officer in a bank because a lot of opportunities in the bank. It was a prestigious job in a bank. But today, banks are struggling to run their branches because people are not going to branches. People are not going to a bank branch. Earlier, 15-20 years back, people have to go to a branch for anything and everything, whether to open a bank account or get a checkbook or transfer some money or open a recurring deposit or a fixed deposit, take a loan, whatever you need to go to a bank branch. And today you don't have to go anywhere. You just need a smartphone and a connectivity. 12 o'clock in the midnight or 8 a.m. in the morning, you will be able to get your banking requirements done wherever you are. You just need a simple internet connection and a smartphone. Now banks are really struggling to run their operations because of the digital platforms, right? So traditional banking is getting disrupted. They are into trouble. Telecommunication companies. Now telecom companies offered services, especially on voice services to connect people. Now digital platforms like WhatsApp, Signal, or many other platforms completely disrupted this telecom industry. Now if you look at, there were about 13 telecom companies 10 years back in India, it was there. But today it's hardly 3-4, and they are also struggling to survive, right? Telecommunication companies are getting disrupted. Retail is getting disrupted. We couldn't imagine that somebody will deliver our required goods and services to our own home delivery. We couldn't imagine 10-15 years back. Today, without even ordering, things will be delivered to your home. There are anticipatory shipping AI solutions used by many companies. I'll come to that example slightly later. So the traditional industries are completely getting disrupted because of this digital revolution. Analytics and AI is one of the key drivers driving this huge change, right? I just want to show you an example how the traditional retail is also getting disrupted by playing a very simple video. So let me just play that video here. You may please confirm that you are able to see this video. 1 second, let me just play that video here.
Four years ago, we started to wonder, what would
are you able to hear the audio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
Now, this is an interesting use case of artificial intelligence coming to our own neighborhood supermarkets. Okay. When it came 3 years back or 4 years back, I couldn't really believe this. Oh, this is real. A couple of years back when I went to the US, I really went to one of the Amazon Go showrooms and experienced it myself. And there is nobody, right? In a small supermarket, you don't have to really, checked by security guards 2 times. You don't have to really, stand in the queue. You don't have to really wait for a long time in the billing counter. Everything happens seamlessly, and you have seen that. And how this is possible inside a supermarket? Nothing but artificial intelligence technologies like computer vision, sensor fusion, image recognition, facial recognition, and so on, right? So AI coming to your own neighborhood supermarkets. And in India, there are 2 showrooms already like this by 2 different companies, and one is available in Cochin, right? So this is coming. I'm just talking about retail, right? Interestingly, this is not just limited to retail. The future cars, which are already getting launched, is also going to be driven by AI systems. Now, you know that there are driverless cars, autonomous cars, or smart cars, and there is no driver. You don't even have a driving steering inside the car. So the car can take you wherever you want. You just need to tell your mobile phone, take me to Cochin, Bangalore, or Chennai, right? You just need to come and stand in front of the car. It will recognize your face, and if you are the authorized person, it will open up the door, and then you get inside, and you don't know how to say anything. Once the car is ready to move, it automatically move. It knows when to take a left or right, or when to increase the speed, when to decrease the speed, whether to stop in front of a signal. It knows everything. How this is possible? Again, this is possible with the help of artificial intelligence technologies, because this car is having a lot of sensors, cameras attached to this, which will collect data in real time through the cameras and sensors and process intelligently in the backend, and which will take the decision automatically, right? Cars driven by AI. So our future commuting will be done by intelligent automobile vehicles. So we know SUVs, XUVs, MPVs, and so on, multi-purpose vehicle, sports utility vehicles, extended utility vehicles, and so on, right? But you will see in the future intelligent automobile vehicles, right? So that's what the world is getting into, and this is already on the road today. Now, the manufacturing companies who are manufacturing these cars are also leveraging AI, and you will see manufacturing plants without any people in those plants, and these cars would be manufactured by intelligent robots, and you will not see any people inside. Right from the design to assembling to testing will be done by intelligent robots, right? More interestingly, now not only this the car and the people who are going to be in the car and the manufacturing units, even the roads are getting smarter. The road in which this smart cars will be driven also will be having AI on the road. China is already developing smart roads which can talk to these driverless cars, now intelligent roads. And we are going to see not only just the tar and the metals on the road, but it would be more intelligent AI driven roads. And your traffic systems will be not just time sensitive traffic systems, it will be intelligent traffic systems. Now, depending upon the number of vehicles and the number of type of the vehicles on the road, it will automatically adjust the traffic lights. So it is not time sensitive traffic lights, it would be intelligent traffic systems. And that is where our whole transportation and the traffic management would be even better and intelligent and smarter, right? So this same AI technologies are being leveraged across multiple other aspects as well, right from crash testing to drug discovery to health diagnosis to customer services to facial recognition to even unmanned aerial vehicles. Today, analytics and AI is being leveraged in a big way. Now, when I see all those things, you might be thinking, okay, this is all being leveraged in larger organization, multinational corporates and all. Don't worry, you are also engaging these kind of AI systems already. Now, I'm sure that many of you may be having a Facebook account, right? The moment you upload a photograph of your friends and families, immediately it will give you an option to tag your friends, and it will give you recommendations. The moment you curse your mouse over, your cursive mouse, when you mouse over on multiple faces, automatically it will recommend tag Philip Varghese, tag Mr. Thomas, tag Mr. Rajesh, or tag Mr. ABC, right? So it will automatically come. Why? How? There is an AI system in the background which will detect the face using facial recognition and image detection analytics in the background, and where you're just simply clicking and tagging. When you're clicking on tag a particular person, you're engaging AI system there. And that is where it is already coming in, right? Major sports and games agencies, clubs, they are today leveraging AI to select the team players based on their ability to play in different situations. So teams are also going to be selected using an AI systems based on data. Team members are going to be selected. And the AI is also coming into courts and even used by judges and lawyers, because they can use this AI to predict whether a criminal or accused person is going to commit more crimes if he is going to be getting bailed, right? If he's given bail, then whether the person is going to commit more crimes or not, right? Today, movie industries are leveraging AI, where they are using AI to compose music, create stories and scripts, right? Even traditional non-technical industries like oil and gas is also leveraging AI. We are going to see a few examples in the coming minutes. It's not only just the larger organizations and companies leveraging AI. It is about even animals are also coming into this ecosystem. And you will see these animals are also having smart chips implanted into their body, which can collect data in real time about their production, medicines, movements, and so on, right? So even animals are also coming to this larger ecosystem of AI, right? It's not just human beings and these larger organizations alone. So these kind of technologies are also coming into our own homes and houses. And as sir already mentioned about Amazon Alexa and Apple Siri and Google Homes, and these are all technologies powered by AI today. Okay, so there is an interesting solution. This is a 4-minute video. I'm not playing this video. This this Google launched a solution called Google Duplex. So Google Duplex is a solution which will act like an executive secretary for you. So in this video, when you play, you will see that Google Duplex is talking to a restaurant owner and booking an appointment for for a person, and the restaurant owner will not even realize that the restaurant owner is talking to a robot. So such naturally, this Google Duplex AI system can talk. Okay, so that is how AI is maturing and being part of our own homes and houses. And this Google Duplex can remind you about your meetings. This Google Duplex can remind you about your medicine intake. This Google Duplex can remind you for a meeting or an appointment or anything. It can act like it can do bookings. It can do many things, right? So Google Duplex is going to be a kind of a default solution for many of us in the future. If not Google Duplex, a similar solution, right? Like the Amazon Go or many other solutions. Now, we are going to see many such things in the future. Very interestingly, whatever we have seen in some of the sci-fi movies in the past is also getting a reality today. So the earlier movies which came decades back, and some of the interesting sci-fi stories are really getting a reality today, right? But before I show you some interesting stuff on that, I just want to show you, I just want to take a quick poll here. Now, I am sure all of you have the chat window available. Now you are seeing two photographs. Okay, you are seeing two photographs. Now, if you look at this photograph, one of the photographs is created by artificial intelligence engine, not the photo of a real person. Which one is it, male or female? Can you type it in the chat window? Which one is not a real photograph? There's a chat window. Could you please put it into the chat window? Is the male is not real, or the female is not real? Okay, I'm seeing some responses. I see 4 responses. Could you please put some more responses here? Which one do you think is not real? Okay, female. So majority of you are saying it is female. Okay. Interest of time, I'm moving forward. Now, yeah, interestingly, both these photographs are created by AI. These people are not real. These people are not there. Now, AI can create photographs of people which can even beat real photographs, right? It's very difficult. Now, this technology has a lot of positive and good use cases. Now, you see how a male photograph is slowly transforming into a female photograph. Now, this technology can be used by people who are acid victims. Now, you know that acid victims, they will lose their face, right, if the acid is flowing into their face. Now, with the help of plastic surgery, if somebody wants to reconstruct their face, they can use this technology to design their new face. People meeting with accident, if they are having trouble with their face, in damaging their face, then they can use this technology. People wanted to do gender transformation, right? They can use this technology with the help of plastic surgery to design their new faces. There are bad sides as well. If somebody is committing a crime, and then if they want to really change their faces, yes, this can also be used, right? There are many good use cases as well as bad use cases, right? So technology has to be used for good. Yes, let's use it for good, right? Now, you will see this technology can be even used in creating actors and actresses in the movies. Movie scripts are already written by AI systems. Music started getting composed by AI systems. Now you'll see the future movies written by AI systems, directed by AI systems, composed by AI systems, even acted by AI actors and AI actresses, which are not who are not real. Now these are all photographs of people who are not real. Okay. Now this is how the future is coming. More interestingly, it is not only people experimenting with the photographs. People started building digital humans, virtual humans, people who don't die. Okay. Now, today, with the help of 3D printing, brain mapping, and behavior analytics technologies and thermoplastic elastomer, you can build a digital human. Okay. And there are companies who are already building this. 3 years back, in Saudi Arabia, Sophia is a digital human who got a citizenship, a robot getting a citizenship who will act, work, talk, behave, respond like a human being, right? So they are going to live in the world of Sophias, and we need to work with the Sophias, right? Interestingly, don't expect the Sophia always come in the form of a human being. Okay, now you see here, Sophia takes the shape of a human being, right? Now, it is not necessary to have Sophia all the time about coming in the shape of a human being. I just want to play a simple, interesting video how Sophia is taking different roles and different shapes and still support a lot of companies and a lot of departments and a lot of divisions, right? I just want to play a video where Sophia is taking the role of an HR manager, an interviewer in the form of a card. Let me play a very simple 1-minute video. I'm sure some of you might have seen these videos, but people who are not seen this video, I just want to share this with all of you.
Welcome, Oliver. Glad to see you put on your blue shirt for the interview.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome.
Are you feeling stressed?
Just a bit,
Please allow me to play some piano music to make you feel more comfortable.
I feel a bit better now, thank you.
Glad to hear that. Tell me, why should I hire you?
I've been passionate about courses, I'm a boy.
Okay, let's do a little test. Can you show me where my electric compressor is?
Sure. here.
Perfect. Can you explain how my 360-degree camera? I think I'm going to keep you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
See, the new HR manager here is an AI engine coming in the form of a card, right? You've seen that. That is how industry is going to adopt analytics and AI in a very big way, right? It will take the form of a virtual CFO, of a board of director, or a manager. Probably 30 to 40% of the people will report to a robotic manager in the future. And that is how it is going to be, right? So the adoption of AI is in so many ways, and it can solve so many complex problems as well, right? Recently in Japan, there is a company called Donut Robotics developed a very, very interesting solution for a complex problem during the pandemic time. When many of the airports got shut down, people stranded in many, many countries, and there were tourist people, travelers, business travelers, the government officials. Imagine that you are in Japan and you don't know Japanese, and people in Japan, if they don't know English, then you're in trouble. Now, there are so many people stranded in different countries without having expertise in the local language. We're having a tough time. Now, Japanese company Donut Robotics developed a smart mask which can translate 8 languages in real time. Came as a savior for many, many people, hundreds of people, right? It acted as a mask. At the same time, it did language translation. Imagine, this technology, the same technology can be extended to many, many other use cases as well. Language translation. So it's solving problems, not only on the pandemic time, but also for news agencies like media channels. In China, Xinhua agency really adopted an AI anchor who can read English news 24/7. In China, English proficiency is not that great, right? And you don't find so many people who can speak English very well. And that is where this AI anchor, a robot, is reading news or conducting debates 24/7. And you can have so many different robots for so many channels in so many different languages, and you don't need people to read the news. And if you have a language problem, right? So this analytics and AI is not only used in just these fancy examples, but also in, for example, in flights. Today, 94% of the time, the flight is flown by intelligent systems, not even by the pilot. Now, every hour, more than 80 terabyte data is getting produced by an engine, by a flight, every hour. Now, 4-hour flights, more than 350 terabytes of data getting produced to help you land safely. This data will be collected real time to predict if there is any problem in the engine, air pressure, and so on. So it will help you to identify any issues if there are anything well in advance and which can be fixed. Today, police departments are leveraging AI and analytics to prevent crimes. Los Angeles Police Department used analytics to prevent crimes, which helped them to reduce 21% violent crimes, 33% reduction in burglaries. So national security agencies, intelligence agencies, investigation agencies, police department, they're all using analytics and AI today in fighting crimes. Okay, so we have already seen the example about Amazon in the Amazon Go showroom, but they also use Amazon in the in the e-commerce sites. If all of us are logging into Amazon, we will all get different recommendations, product recommendations. When there are 200 million people, customers logging into Amazon, they will get 250 million different recommendations based on their profiles. How it is possible? It is possible with an intelligent system in the background where they leverage analytics and AI in the background to give you personalized recommendations. United Parcel Services company is a truck company. It's a logistics company. They spent more than 10,000 crore every year only on analytics and AI. 10,000 crore rupees they spent on analytics. Why? A parcel company has to leverage analytics because they have about 1 lakh vehicles on the ground, 1 lakh trucks on the ground. They use analytics by collecting data from from all these vehicles through GPS systems and other systems where they will be able to understand where their vehicles are, who are their best drivers, bad drivers, whether the vehicles are used for any illegal activities or not. So they also started predicting when their vehicles will be breaking down. They can do proactive maintenance, fuel consumptions, driver behaviors. They will be able to really manage all those things better so that they could really improve their productivity and profits. So a travel company using analytics and AI, right? McDonald's uses analytics and AI to understand the customer preferences, product combinations. Even they use weather data to forecast when they have to have a certain set of products to be made available, right? A Rolls-Royce engine manufacturing company again uses analytics by collecting data from its sensors to understand the vibration, temperature, pressure, and speed and so on to ensure that the engine works smoothly, right? Petroleum companies uses data to understand their oil production better, to prevent any failures. This kind of technology even adopted today, even in hotels, restaurants, and hospitality industry, right? You will see smart robot. I personally experienced a smart robot as a receptionist in UK in one of the hotels, and when I went into the hotel for check-in, I didn't find any reception desk there. I didn't find anybody to receive me. I was just running around, and then one person from the restaurant came and helped me, asked me, what do you need, sir? Then I told him that I have a check-in here, but I don't know where to go. And then she was happily taking me to a robot like this, and I had to enter my details, and the robot was giving me key and directions and everything, right? So this kind of intelligent systems even will come to our own homes, even as a smart doctor, your personalized family doctor. Okay, this doctor will know who needs what kind of exercises, who needs what kind of medicines, and it will be able to predict when you will be having a diabetics or when you can have a potential heart attack, right? And that is how personalized home family medical support would be delivered through a robot in the future. And you will see that this kind of AI intelligence systems are already coming in the form of smart TVs, smart refrigerators, smart light, smart coffee machines, and so on. And you see in advertisements all through the television channels, you will see the advertisements of this smart bulbs, smart ACs, and so on. I just want to play a small video just to give you an idea about how the future smart homes are going to look like.
Play jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Sånn. Så skal vi sette en til.
Ja. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the door. Open the door.
Wrong voice command. Error.
Hey, there. With a rock. Open door. Open door. Higher.
Higher volume.
Higher.
Higher.
Now, the first half of this video, you're seeing that this guy is giving a lot of verbal commands to the smart systems in his house, though the second half is kind of a humorous, funny element of that, but still you're seeing how the smart homes can be in the future, right? This is all getting a reality. When you have smart homes, smart buildings, smart mobility, smart transportation, smart electricity, smart retail, smart hospitality, and so on, and that is how the smart cities are getting born, and slowly multiple smart cities will make smart nations, right? And that is where the world is moving to. Now, so far we are seeing the good side of the AI, right? The flashy side of the AI, the lot of transformation. Now, interestingly, if these AI systems are not used in the right way, these AI systems can go very, very wrong and bad. Okay, I just want to show you certain examples on the bad side of the AI as well, if it is not used right way. Now, Microsoft is a very big company. Microsoft developed a chatbot, AI chatbot called Tay. Tay is an automated response chatbot which will give you automated replies. Now Tay got integrated to Twitter. Now people do a lot of tweets, right? Now Tay started responding to these tweets posted by people. But what happened actually, Tay started using a lot of nasty, vulgar, obscene languages. And I'm not reading it out. I put some screenshot here for your friends. Now within 24 hours, Twitter had to really shut down this Microsoft AI-based chatbot called Tay. AI failed. AI couldn't respond to customers in a proper language. Amazon built an AI-based recruitment manager. So this recruitment manager's job is to really recruit people. But unfortunately, this AI-based recruitment tool didn't like women candidates. It hated women candidates, didn't hire any women candidates. There's a huge bias problem. It hired only male candidates. Eventually, Amazon had to come to the public, apologize, and withdraw the solution. Okay, AI failed in hiring the right candidate. Uber in 2018 launched a driverless car with the help of AI. Unfortunately, this car gone ahead and hit a pedestrian and killed that pedestrian. AI killed a person, right? AI causing death. So AI failed again, right? I just want to play a video before I talk about this. Another dangerous thing called deepfake. I don't know if you heard about deepfake. I just want to play a video before we come to the deepfake. Okay.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. That's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between whether we survive or whether we become some kind of fucked up dystopia. Thank you, and stay woke, bitches.
Now, this is an interesting video, but a very dangerous side of the AI. Now, you've seen people can create photographs, very, very real looking photographs. And AI can create real looking videos as well. And that is called deepfake. Now, your own photographs, your own videos can be used to create fake videos, which can be really dangerous for you, right? So AI can be used for the bad purpose as well. And there are already many, many interesting videos came about the Qun and as well as Elon Musk and so on. So that's also a dangerous side. Interestingly, Facebook, what they did, they allowed two AI engines to talk to each other and figure out what they do if they are allowed to talk to each other. Surprisingly, this AI engines started talking to each other and they started creating their own language, which was not able to be identified, cracked by Facebook data scientists. Very, very scary thing. We don't even know what these chatbots are going to talk to. They wanted to eliminate humans. We don't know, right? Immediately, Facebook engineers have to really shut down these chatbots. Alexa, the famous Alexa in 2017 in Germany, there was a house party 3 a.m. in the morning. Alexa thought there is a big fight happening. Instead of a party, didn't recognize that it is a party. It was a fight. That's how Alexa recognized. And automatically, Alexa called the police, right? Alexa failed again, right? Same way in US, to a small kid in 2017, the small kid was requesting for a nursery rhyme called Digger Digger. But instead of that nursery rhyme, it played a pornographic video to that small kid. AI again failed, right? So the idea of showing this is to give you a perspective that if AI is not being used in the right way, it is very dangerous as well. Now, here is where we need to ensure that AI has to be used, built, leveraged, which can provide ethical aspects as well, ethical AI. And AI has to be very, very transparent and explainable when it is taking decisions. And it has to be responsible. When AI car is going and hitting a person and killing a person, who is responsible? The AI engine, the car, or the company behind it, or the engineer who made it, right? So who is responsible, right? Responsible AI. And AI has to produce accurate results and outcome as well. If you don't do this, same AI can be used as lethal weapons. AI can be used for launching cyber attacks. Contents can be delivered to you in a complete biased manner, which can influence a decision, whether it is in an election or in a purchasing of a product through e-commerce sites. So this is where we would need right level of compliances, governance, and policies, legal accountability, and AI systems to be built and used for delivering value, and it has to be an ecosystem oriented. Now, all of us have an opportunity to play here because, as I mentioned, the future and the world is moving towards knowledge engineering, right? Extracting the knowledge which can be used for taking the right decisions, right? And which can be used in smarter systems. And that is where the opportunity for all of us. Whether you are seeing that in many of the examples, a lot of cognitive solutions where oral commands are given and the systems are obeying that, right? Natural language technologies, natural language processing, natural language generation, natural language understanding, and this is where language text understanding of the language is getting very, very important, right? So the English professionals, people with a good proficiency in English is really required, or multiple languages really required to build these kind of AI systems which can provide cognitive capabilities. And we have a huge opportunity out there, right, to quantify this uncertain amount of data and the complex systems out there. Huge volume of opportunities out there from a career perspective, in the media, in the content management, in the journalism, right, in many, many areas, right? There are more than 3 crore people required across the globe in the probably in the couple of coming years, right? Across the globe, more than 3 crore people required with analytic skills and expertise. A huge shortfall of skills out there. But how do we really get into that opportunity? How do we really leverage that opportunity? Now, irrespective of the title, role, position, whether you're a student or a job-seeking candidate, or whether you're a fresher or a middle manager, or you're a senior person in the organization, whether you're a CEO, doesn't matter. Today, if you have to be relevant, we need to have skills to manage these kind of intelligent systems. So I have 2 mantra which can help all of us to really stay relevant in this time. One, learn, unlearn, and relearn. So that is my first mantra. Second mantra is skill, upskill, and reskill. Right? These are the 2 mantras I have for all of you to stay relevant and get the opportunities to really capitalize and make the opportunities out there in the coming time, right? So this is what I want to share with you, that a high level perspective about how AI is getting an imperative factor in our lives, in our personal lives, as well as in our social life and in our careers and for our nation. I hope the session was useful and relevant, and thank you so much for patiently listening to me. And I would like to spend the rest of the time for taking any questions or suggestions or feedback from any of you or all of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip Varghese. Now the floor is open to the public. In fact, you can ask questions to Mr. Philip regarding AI, your doubts, your concerns. So I believe that there are no questions at the moment. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Philip. This is, as you are saying that there are a lot of challenges that have been faced by AI, especially in the case of speech recognition and all. It is indeed a challenge from the video that you have played, wherein the actor was, he was saying open door instead of open door. So at that moment, AI was completely failed to recognize the kind of utterances that he has been delivering, which is indeed a definite challenge. Wouldn't it be a even more challengeable position when, in some cases, that some of us might, deliver some kind of, sarcasm or irony, and at the same time, when you move, 10 years down the line, when we'll be in a position that everywhere or majority of our lives will be upskilled by, in fact, the AI platform and all. So wouldn't it be a really definite challenge for all of us that recognizing sarcasm or recognizing irony from the part in the part of an AI assistant?
Yeah, so that's a very, very interesting question. So if you look at the foundational aspects of AI, the AI has to learn over a period of time, right? There are advanced branches of AI is coming, artificial general intelligence, artificial narrow intelligence, and so on. So artificial narrow intelligence is a branch of AI which will be solving specific problems, defined problems in the short span of time. But the problem that you just explained is much broader and wider, right? So that would be falling in the artificial general intelligence category. It will take pretty long time, just like the way human beings, how, when we say sarcasm or think to a small kid, he or she may not be able to understand it, right? So, but by the time he or she become really mature and then able to understand that, then it is a pretty long journey. Same way for even AI, right? It will take a long time for AI to really have that kind of a maturity in the future. Given the progress of various things happening in the AI space, I cannot write it off that AI will not be able to understand. I think in some time in the future, AI will be able to, is what I think, but it is a very, very long journey. It is a very, very, huge investment, time, effort to really get into that kind of a maturity is what my reading. The other side of the story is that who would be interested to have such kind of technologies or investments to be made to make this AI to have the understanding about the sarcasm, right? Even today, if you look at, I think there are a lot of investment happening to make the AI to be more empathetic, right? If you look at the interview video, the AI is asking that in the candidate, are you feeling nervous? Let me play music for you. So AI is making attempts to get more empathetic, but it is a very long journey, right? It has to be general intelligence, but it is a very long journey. It will take long time, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Philip. And one more, just out of curiosity, I have another doubt whether the AI assistant would be facing a lot of challenge in recognizing the different dialects. In fact, the different dialects within English language, at least.
See, it all depends upon the kind of learning it goes through. So there is a subset of AI called machine learning, right? So machine learning is nothing but how the machine learns about all these things, right? So just like the way we are learning in the schools and colleges, there is a way of learning for machines, which is called natural learning for machine, supervised learning. So you teach the machine and machine learns. And there is another thing called unsupervised learning. So just like the way we learn a lot of things outside our defined curriculum, and that is called unsupervised learning in the AI space. Now, there are certain things that can be taught to machine. There are limitations in teaching certain things to the machine, and there are certain things to be learned in an unsupervised model. Now, human beings will come across a large different number of scenarios where, or situations where, a lot of unrecognized learning would be, collectively coming to a person, right? But in the case of in the case of a machine, how do you get that kind of an environment for a machine to learn so many different dynamics about an interaction, right? It is limited. Now there is a limitation to even create such scenarios for the people for these machines to learn. Technically, yes, this all can be set up, but how long and who will be the question.
All right, that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? Vamshi, do you have a question?
Do you think that AI will understand actual emotion? I mean, between person to person, we understand actual emotion, but we understand how the person is feeling. I think that AI will understand that, or will we reach it when AI will actually understand that about emotion?
See, one of the biggest distinguisher between a machine and the human is humans have the ability to, understand and behave more emotionally, empathetically, and sympathetically, right? And machines have to really go a long way to reach that stage. I think there are experiments and investments happening because there are companies who are investing a lot of HR AI systems or human resource management AI systems, which can manage work, co-work with people, real human beings, right? So there are systems which are already built, for computer vision based technologies or video analytics solutions are being built, which is being used in an exit interview. So when a person works in an organization, if he resigns, then obviously there is an exit interview. Now there are solutions which are already built, which will monitor this exit interview and then understand from the behavior, emotions, sentiment, and so on from the person. Okay. Similar way, during an appraisal, how the same technology can be used to understand the responses and reactions of the employee. During trials or investigations, today AI is being used. Now, if you look at these are all pointed solutions being built. Now, how do you apply emotions, sentiments through a conversation is going to be, in a real video conversation is going to be still tricky and challenging. But if you look at the text, right, the written content, definitely you will be able to understand the emotions, sentiments, and all through the text language. So a natural language processing, or we call it as text engineering. So in the natural language processing, in the natural language understanding, in the natural language generation, a lot of these things are getting matured. So we use emotion intelligence or sentiment analysis to understand the brand, right? Customers preferences about the brands, or the competition analysis, customers likeness towards the brand. A lot of sentiment analysis being used. Now today elections are happening, right? So political parties use AI based systems to understand the citizens or the people's sentiment towards which party or which candidate, right? So sentiment analysis being used. A certain level of emotion analysis also being used there. But in a video conversation, in a video engagement, machine to people, people to people, or machine to machine interactions, how this emotional intelligence is being used, I think it's a very long journey.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, welcome.
Yeah. Mr. Philip, that you were just mentioning about the natural language processing and stuff like that. So would it be possible that in future, like, for example, the fictional novels of Jane Austen, coming to literature, in fact, and language. So the novels of Jane Austen could be analyzed by artificial intelligence just for the sake of, getting something to know about, getting to know about the social networking that has been used, that was used, in fact, in the work of Jane Austen's novels, who talks to who and stuff like that. would it be possible in
I think
future?
the network analysis is being already, matured to a certain extent. But today it has to be used, or it is being used on certain areas, especially, in national security related matters. These things are already being used. The US government uses these kind of technologies in a very big way, especially monitoring terrorism and related activities. So they analyze, especially in finding Bin Laden, the Al Qaeda leader. Bin Laden got arrested. There's a lot of similar technologies being used behind the scenes to even identify where Bin Laden is. So they extracted millions of emails, or they scanned the millions of emails, terabytes of messages, trapped thousands of phone calls. They extracted information from all these things and then created network graphs which can connect people, context, events, incidents, and everything together to really connect to Bin Laden. Okay, so technically these kind of capabilities are being used, and here is where again natural language processing is heavily used, including voice engineering, text engineering, voice to text, text to voice, language detections, entity extractions, emotion intelligence, sentiment analysis, intention analysis. So all these analytics or AI systems are being used to really eventually lead to that kind of an arrest.
All right, thank you so much. So in fact, I believe that there are no more questions.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I couldn't hear the two mantras you said earlier. Can you please repeat it?
Yeah, those are very, very simple mantras. One, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay. The second mantra is skill, upskill, and reskill.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Vamshi, are you ready for the vote of thanks?
Yes, sir.
Your voice is, yeah, go ahead, please.
So like Blessing sir said, even I was confused. About why Department of Communicative English was conducting a webinar on AI. And I just realized that it's not just about learning English, right? It's not about learning about literature. It's about life itself. And AI has a huge role in our lives. And thank you so much, Mr. Philip Varghese, for helping us understand that in the most easiest way possible. And also in helping us understand the pros and cons of AI as well. And finally, I would like to thank our department, Communicative English, Mr. Roy Abraham, and especially Dr. Blessing Abraham, for organizing such a wonderful and informative webinar. And finally, I would like to thank my fellow Marinates for being a part of the webinar. Thank you so much. Take care and bye-bye.
Yep, thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you, Blessing sir, for once again for inviting me and then sharing the opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Philip, yeah, for accepting my invitation as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.